Welcome to the space for transformational leaders to unleash their magic, see better client results, work lighter, and live source. Hi, I'm Darla Ledoux, founder of Sourced and author of Shift the Field. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm also the creator of the Certified Sourced Leader program. And I want to speak to why I created a certification program. So first thing you want to know about me is that I have several certifications, but they are not even listed on my website. And in fact, they're not important to me. The experience of going through the programs I went through is really important to me, but actually having a certification for different things is not something that I have personally placed a lot of value in. I never ask someone I'm hiring as a coach where they've been certified. And so when I started getting this message from Source that I needed to start a certification program, I kind of scratched my head. I was like, that makes no sense. I don't even care about certifications. Why would I create one? However, it kept coming through and it kept coming through. And I'm telling you, I ignored it, I pushed it down for a long time. And Source was really clear to create a certification. So here's what was going on in my business at the time that this was coming through. I was leading a program called Retreat and Grow Rich. It's based on my first book of the same name. It's still relevant and amazing. And I hosted a retreat called Retreat and Grow Rich Live, where people would come and we would workshop their design and their message and their main intention for their retreat and the content flow, as well as touching on how to actually market and fill the retreat. And I did that for several years. I worked with hundreds of clients in this particular retreat, in this format. I designed hundreds of retreats with people. And one of the things that became really, really clear is that there were a percentage of people who came in who I knew this was getting to their magic. Like we were finessing the way their magic would show up on retreat, and they were gonna go do that, and it was gonna be amazing. And then there was a much larger percentage of people that I just knew weren't at a place where they were able to actually hold the space for the transformation that they wanted to deliver at their retreat. Maybe they had been to a retreat, they got a lot of value, and they felt called to do this work, which by the way is the same thing that happened for me. However, there's a lot of layers of our own internal healing to go through to be able to hold space for a retreat, as well as skills and skill building and really understanding the energy dynamics of the group you're attracting and understanding your own magic and how it works with individuals and in a group and what's the difference. And so I would help people design their retreat, but there was this part of me that felt like I was wasting my time, And I hate to say that, but it got to a point where I thought, I really only want to work with people who I know are actually going to go do this. And I want to have the time and the space to give them the proper preparation to be that transformational leader of groups and communities that they feel deeply called to be. It was like, we can't do this in a retreat format. We can't do this in one weekend. And there's skills and integration that needs to be built to be able to be this type of leader. Even though I had been getting this message, certification for a long time, and then I had the voice that said, who are you to create this? The world doesn't need another certification. Nobody needs another certification. On the court, watching and really understanding, like from an aligned, sourced, nurturing and loving space, that there's actually a lot of layers for a leader to go through to become what we call a retreat master. And that I could help people get prepared for that, who were called for that. And that was really, I remember the moment on retreat where I had the realization that a good percentage of the people in the room were not ready to actually go deep with their clients and do the work they imagined. And that was when it clicked for me, and I launched my pilot of my certification program. Now, I'm sharing this with you for a couple of reasons. One, I love stories, and I wanted to share the story behind the Certified Source Leader program, which has really evolved and is a deeply resonant way of being for the people that go through the program. It's like, yes, this is how my soul is here to operate, and this is what I'm here to do. So I wanted to share the story about that. And I also wanted to share because you may be getting intuitive hits or getting a message that you're meant to be an author or a speaker, or you're creating a certification or a podcast or a YouTube channel or whatever it may be, and it's coming through and there's some part of you that says, wait, that's not for me. That's not for me. This is gonna continue to create bumps in the road until you align with it. Like, since I've aligned with what Source was guiding me to do, things have been so easy, so light. This is one of the things we stand for here at Source, is working lighter as a light worker. And that's been the case. So if you've got a call for a business model or an identity that you know you're here to step into, but you keep not doing it, myself or one of my coaches on my team can help with that. Check out the link below this video to learn about our Your Sourced Expression program, which is our one-on-one coaching container. It's a very potent container where we look at your energy and your strategy and support you in actually honoring what Spirit is calling you to do, without those little questions or doubts getting in the way. Who am I to do this? Is this Source, or is this my ego? Those types of things will help you move through that so you can align with what you're really here to do. This is Darla Ledoux, founder of Sourced, and I will see you soon.